Hey guys, hope everybody's doing okay today. Kind of a drizzly, miserable day here in northern Georgia. Matter of fact, it's been kind of just overcast and cloudy here the last several days, and I'm sure the the plants in the greenhouse and the ones outside and are just not enjoying it too much right now. But hey, we just have to take it as it comes. Anyway, real quick, just wanted to give you guys an update on what's going on. As you can see behind me, the tomato plants are gone, and here's what they looked like about 2 weeks ago. As you can see, they were pretty well done, and now I'm going to show you what we got going on out here, and then we'll move into the greenhouse. And here's what we have now, guys. Have planted the got Savoy cabbage on this side right here. Got a little lone Georgia collard stick there in the middle, just kind of an extra plant I had left over. And same with the 2 buckets on the side over there, 2 pots. Got a Georgia collard over there, a couple of those. And then over here, we got some broccoli going right here. And looking pretty good. We're gonna look even better. We're supposed to get some rain here tonight and tomorrow. It's gonna look even better. Of course, I've been watering it anyway, but nothing waters like a good old Mother Nature does. And then a couple more broccoli plants over in the buckets you see right there. Okay guys, we're gonna move on to the where the peppers used to be right here. As you can see right here, we got some round Dutch cabbage planted here, along with some more Savoy cabbage, and those are looking really good. And move over to the next bed here, and we've got just a bed full of good old Georgia collards. We love collards, and we love to can them and eat them all through the winter time, and very, very delicious. Just as sweet, especially when we get a little frost on them in the coming winter months. Man, you just can't beat them. Okay guys, if you'll recall, back in some of my previous videos here on the raised beds, the peppers that used to be in this bed right here, I was wondering what was going on with them. I couldn't never really get them going. They kind of got off to a bad start with the aphids and such as that, you know, inside the greenhouse, and finally got rid of those and everything, and I got them out and got them set out, and they finally started taking off, and then they got going real good, and then all of a sudden they just stopped again, and they wasn't producing anything. They weren't really growing very well, and they just kind of went downhill from there, you know, compared to what I had last year. And then also over here in the bean bed, you know, last year I couldn't keep up with those beans, those Vortex snaps that I planted. Last year couldn't keep up with. This year they kind of got to a point, and then they just went poof, they just stopped and just died on me. And I want to show you the reason that happened. If you take a look at this right here, you see these little devils here on this shovel? Those are grubs, and generally caused by Japanese beetles. They get in there and lay eggs and everything, and hatch into those grubs, and those grubs will annihilate the roots of your plants. When I pulled all this stuff up, I did not shoot a video of it. I apologize for that, but I was so disgusted at the time. I just really but anyway, this is what I came up with when I started turning these beds over. And you do not, if you see these in your garden, you do not want them in there. Get them out. I hand picked out probably about 200 of these things out of my gardens. Just these 2 right here. Didn't affect the cucumber beds that I've seen so far, but I had to dig all the way down to the bottom of these beds and completely go through each one of them just thoroughly to get all these grubs out of here. And like I said, we probably I don't know, we kind of lost count after the first 150 or so, but we dug out about 200 of those things, and man, it's they will completely destroy your garden, so get rid of them if you see them. Okay guys, we'll turn our attention to the greenhouse now. There's those tomato plants that you saw me set out about 2 weeks ago, and look how much they've grown. Man, they're really loving it in there. I am so excited about this. I always am. I'm always excited to open this greenhouse and get it going. But I'm going to take you around and tell you what all I got going on right there. Just wanted to show you that first. And as you see, we got the cracky beds all planted out with various lettuces. We're also going to try some cracky cabbage and broccoli, which is something we've never done in here before. So we're going to see how that goes. That'll be interesting to see. Okay guys, down to the tomatoes now. On the far end there on the left is the Campari tomato. That was the one that I did experimental outside that I saved from hybrid seeds. It did very well outside. We're going to try it here in a greenhouse environment, which is where it originated from anyway. See how it does. And I'm looking forward to the results, because man, if it's as prolific as it was outside, we're going to be loaded with them things. And then moving on down the line, I'm going to try Better Boys, the next two right there. We'll try them in the greenhouse in Dutch buckets this year. I have done one in a crack key bucket last year. It did pretty good, but it was hard to keep up with it because, you know, as you know, tomato plants are very thirsty, and it was just hard to keep the nutrients balanced right in a small little 2.5 gallon bucket or something like that. So it did good for a while and then kind of just fizzled out. And if y'all remember seeing that from the last video, but well, we're gonna try it in a Dutch bucket situation and see how it does this year. And then of course the good old reliable big beefs that I've grown in here, you know, several times, and with great success. And these are the ones that you saw if you saw the greenhouse clean out at the end of the season, and where we did a tomato vine measurement, and they wound up being 21 foot 8.5 inches, something like that, almost 22 feet long, and that's after shrinkage. And these things did not owe any service whatsoever. So we naturally got to grow some of those. Now on our back row right here, we're still not quite complete with everything planted in here, but this is what we got, what we're gonna go with here. If you can look right there, give it a little zoom on this mouse melon right here. Thanks to Mr. Rob Bob. I'll put a link to Rob's channel. Very, very intelligent aquaponics man and avid gardener outside. So if y'all haven't seen Rob's channel, go check it out. And we got a mouse melon starter right there. Ain't quite big enough to put in the buckets right there. I'm just trying to introduce it to some nutrient mix right now and try to get it kicked in gear and get it used to it before I drop it in that Dutch bucket. But I'm curious to see how it's going to do, and we're going to plant these outside next year in the spring garden. So and moving on down the line right here, we're going to try broccoli leaf kale in a Dutch bucket. We did crack key on this last year. It did very good. So we're going to try it in a Dutch bucket. We're always trying new things just to see what you can and cannot do. You know, that's the fun of having a greenhouse, the fun of gardening, is trying experiments to see where you go with them, you know. Okay, moving on down the line right here, another seed sent to me by Mr. Rob Bob. Thanks again, Rob. This is a Yuja Malpet eggplant. Very beautiful eggplant. We're going to try it in a Dutch bucket, see how it does. I'm not sure exactly what to expect out of this, but I thought that would be an interesting thing to try in here and see how it does. So, you know, like I say, experimenting, that's the only way you'll know. And then I haven't got these planted yet as well. They don't have quite enough roots on them yet. The celery that we're going to do in the Dutch buckets, you know, as you know, if you saw the other video on the celery we did last year in the greenhouse, we did them in crack key buckets and had very, very good success with it. And this is the same deal I did with them. I just cut them about 1 inch off of the bottom and stuck them in water and got them rooted. And man, I tell you what, they just took off, and they split my bucket and my top and my net cup and everything else in the crack key buckets. So I think what we're going to do this year is try them in Dutch buckets and see how they do. You know, never done that before, so that'll be something new to be on the lookout for, see how we're doing, you know. Oh, one other addition I wanted to show you guys too. I have added an outside air intake system for my inflation fan, and hopefully that's going to help keep down on the condensation in here in the wintertime when it's so cold outside. And you know, you come in and I usually have to, a lot of times I have to take a squeegee off the plastic, you know, and all, because it does filter out the sunlight. So I installed this here about a couple of weeks ago, so we're going to try this out, see how it works, and I think that's going to be a lot better for us. And plus it won't take so much heat out of the greenhouse and blowing it in there in between the layers of plastic, so you're just sucking heat out of your greenhouse. So hopefully that'll help with that as well. But let's move on down to the crack key beds, and starting here on the right hand side, what we have is we've got some round Dutch cabbage, just like we planted outside, and those are looking really good. In the center there we got some broccoli, which I've never done in crack key either. And I just got on the front there just some leftover romaines that I didn't have a place for, so we may or may not leave them there. Of course they will finish out before the cabbage and everything does anyway, so Anyway, we'll we'll just go from there on that. But moving on down the line here to the bed number 2, we've got arugula on the back 2 rows right there, and then we have some iceberg head lettuce in here that we're going to do. I've done iceberg in here before, done pretty good with it, but I actually had a variety that I liked better last year. I can't even remember what it was now, but it seemed to do a little bit better. But we'll try the iceberg again to see how it does. And then down here on the last remaining bed, we have in the front row there, we have butter crunch bib lettuce, and then on the back rows there we have romaine. And so as you see, we're going to be set for lettuce, but mark your calendars here, because I usually try to do these things usually 15 days apart, and we'll check back in on all this stuff 15 days from now and see how it's doing. Real quick, guys, too, for those of you who have seen the been following the pitcher plants that my wife's been working on, as you see, she is this has been her little gig right here. I don't hardly fool with these things too much. I just stay mainly with the vegetables. But she took cuttings off of that one plant, and I'm telling you what, she is, if you just look right there, it's just a jungle of pitcher plants. Oh, excuse my camera movement there. Man, I tell you what, that is something else. She has really done good with these things. So those of you who aren't familiar with it, just look up the pitcher plants and you see what they're all about. They're a carnivorous plant, but those of you who've been following this, you see what she had before and you see what she's got now. It's incredible. Okay, guys, that's going to about wrap it up for this one again. Hope you enjoyed it. This is kind of just keeping you posted on everything that's going on. Stick back with me probably in about another couple of weeks, and we'll do another update and let you see the progress of everything, how it's going. And until then, may God bless you all, and we'll see you next time.